I'd like to call to order the Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency meeting for Tuesday, February 15th, 7 p.m. Can we have a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Fire evacuation procedures. In the event of a fire emergency, you could exit the door in the back of the auditorium and then go away from the building, or you could take the door to my left and down the stairs and away from the building. Roll call, please.
Donna Corbin-Sabinsky.
Here.
Virginia Higley, here. Carrie Ann Howe.
Here.
Robert Hendrickson.
Here.
Kevin Zorda.
Here.
Nancy Martin.
Here.
Sean Dean.
Here.
Okay, and Ann Collins isn't ready to join us today. So with that being said, thank you very much. With that being said, I do want to introduce, we have 3 new members today. We have Ann Collins, Nancy Martin, and Sean Dean. They were appointed on February 7th to join us. So welcome to our agency. It'd be nice having a full
Thank you.
board again. If you want, I don't know if you wanted to say something or.
No, I'm just looking forward to learning all the rules and regulations and everything that we need to do to make sure we're doing the right thing for the wetlands and water courses for Enfield.
Thanks.
Thanks.
What she said.
Oh, great. With that being said, I also would like to seat Sean as a. Okay. Public participation. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Is there anybody wanting to speak regarding items not on the agenda? And one last time, anybody want to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Seeing none, we have agent comments. Anybody to my left?
Nope.
Nope. To my right?
Not at this time.
Not this time. Okay, moving forward. Correspondence. We did have a few. We have a nice wetland agency cheat sheet for the staff, which is great. Gives us a lot of information and where to look for different important websites and that. We have the commissioners list. We have our inland wetlands contact information for everybody on the agency now. Thankfully, we have the final application revised and approved at our last meeting for our records.
Final.
Final. We also did receive an email on February 2nd from Cheryl Eckenroth about the survey for the Enfield Route 190 and 220 survey, and they're asking the residents to please fill out the survey. They could win a gift card and that, and it's about what you think should go along on the properties, some ideas and that. I don't know if you were appointed then, so you may not have gotten it.
The survey?
Yeah.
Actually, I saw it online.
Okay.
Yep,
Just
thank
need a
you.
copy? Okay, I could send you one. I'll forward the email. And then Ann, if she needed one, I could send it to her as well.
I already filled it out.
Oh, okay, she's good. She doesn't need one. That's it for correspondence. Approval of minutes is next.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes for Tuesday, February 1st,
Second.
2022.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Donna Corbin-Sabinsky.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Carrie Ann Howe.
Abstain.
Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Did you watch?
Yeah, well, they can ask him.
I wasn't here. Participating in that meeting, so I'd abstain.
Okay, it's
Okay,
fine.
and Sean?
Abstain.
Just make sure you push a button. Sorry.
Yeah. So 4 in favor, 3 abstain, motion passes. Next, we have a town attorney report. We did receive an email on February 7th regarding pending land use cases and documentation. It contained a spreadsheet. Did you probably not get that one either? It doesn't look like
Sorry,
you're on.
what is it?
Yeah, it's the pending land use cases from the attorney.
No.
You're not on there, so I could send it to you.
Thank you.
Just write a little note here for myself. I'll send that out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, of all the court cases, yeah. Next is continued public hearing. We have none. New public hearings, we have none. Old business, IW 636-59 Cottage Road. That has been continued to March 1st. And we will be needing to make decisions on that pretty soon, right? Yeah. Next on our agenda is POCD implementation of strategies, and that's tabled, so I don't think we're ready to.
I will officially make a motion to table it till our next
It
meeting.
is tabled. It is tabled. So we're going to keep it tabled. Thank you. New business. Did somebody say something? No. New business. XIW 648-558 Enfield Street, wetland applications for the site upgrades at the Great Brook Pump Station, Town of Enfield, applicant owner, map 33, lot 1, R33. Hi. Can you just state your name and addresses for the record?
Yep. Good evening. My name is Donald Nunes, Director of Public Works.
Hey.
My name is Jeremy Bork. I'm with DPC Engineering. We're located in 46 Mohawk Drive in Longmeadow.
Hey, welcome.
All right, so a brief overview. Again, we're going to be redoing a much-needed enhancement to the Great Brook wastewater pump station right behind the back of, here's Dunkin' Donuts on Route 5, here's the Legion. So we drive down the back of the Legion, and that little building right there that you see, that is where we're going to be doing all the work and some of the site work around here, but overwhelming majority of the work is going to be inside that building. And, oops, hold on a second. And just so what's hard to imagine is, okay, so here's a cross-section of the building that we have here. So this building from the grade down is about 25 feet. So what you only see is about 8 feet of the building, but it actually goes another 25 feet below ground from there. And again, that's where, when Jeremy talks about it, you'll understand where we're going to be really kind of working and all that kind of stuff like that. But just again, it's one of those things you don't think about. Like this is one of a very deep one. We also have one on South Maple Street that I think is 34 feet deep. So again, just for sake, this is about 8 feet. So it's down there. So that's where we're at right now. So after that brief overview, now I'll give it to Jeremy and we'll talk.
Great. So
You can control everything.
I've gone ahead and this is our existing conditions and demolition plan. And I've gone ahead and highlighted some important of the lines on here, so it's not just black and white. We can pick out the the important features. So the site was surveyed and delineated by us, a wetland scientist. The pump station itself is this green rectangle on the site, and the wetlands delineated are the blue line on the site. The wetlands delineated were encompassing the site entirely, showing that this site existing was built in 1960s plus or minus, so it's historic fill. They came in here, they dug a big hole, built the building 25 feet deep, and then just filled in around it. And it's apparent in the delineation of the wetlands in the report by the wetland scientist that it's naturally disturbed material around the site. And so our site upgrades will include demolition of an existing chain link fence on the site, demolition of the paving on the site, and clearing and grubbing up to the erosion control limit. Now, the erosion control limit on this plan is delineated in by this magenta line. We have the existing pavement that's demolished by the yellow line, and the chain link fence by the orange line. That sums up the majority of what will be happening outside the site. There'll be, as Donald had stated, numerous upgrades inside the building as well for pumps and electrical features to ensure that the system keeps operating the way it should, pushing the sewage where it needs to go. So now I'll move into what we're proposing on the site. So the lines are colored sequentially as it was on the last plan. So the blue is the wetland, the pink is the erosion control, which is the same boundary that was shown on the previous plan. The building location, the building main structure is not going to change. Architectural features will be upgraded on that building, such as doors, windows, and the roofing system to ensure that drainage still comes off of that roof. What we are proposing is upgrades to access in the site, so a new chain link fence around the site, new site paving for more ease of access for vehicles, new electrical features such as a transformer and emergency generator. The existing generator is inside the building and dated and is in need of upgrade. So with this new emergency generator, solidifying that in a case of an emergency, this pump station will still function. These are all necessary upgrades associated with, the mechanical parts of this pump station that need to maintain and keep operating. That about sums up what we have proposed on the site. I think I just spoke a little too loud and there was a little reverberation. That was me, yeah. I got a little excited. So we have put together, you may have seen, an erosion controls plan because we're working so close to the wetland limit. This plan goes through details of notes that contractors have to follow to go through and implementing, installing, and maintaining the flow of sediment off the site and ensuring that none of it is impacting the wetlands out there. So an anti-tracking pad will be installed prior to construction to ensure that sediment leaving the site is maintained. And all disturbed areas outside of our paving limit are going to be loamed and seeded at the completion of construction. And I believe that sums up the majority of the site work, and I'm open to taking any questions that the commission has at this time.
Does anybody have any
Yeah.
questions?
Is the backup generator, is that gas or
It'll be diesel.
diesel?
Yep.
So there'll be a diesel tank I assume there's one on site now?
So there is an existing underground fuel storage tank that is planned to be demolished, part of this project, and the proposed generator will have a diesel tank at the base of it, so it'll be all within one unit
Okay.
on a concrete pad.
Excellent.
It'll be outside. Yeah, it'll be located right here. This
Okay, that's what I
rectangle is
thought.
going to be the generator, and it's within the fenced area as well as this electrical transformer here.
I just had one question on our new application here on the documents required. The pre and post development stormwater drainage calculation was not checked off. Is that something that we have in the?
So we had not prepared a stormwater pre and post. We do understand that there is an increase in impervious area associated with this project, and there not being any existing stormwater facilities on the site, and the site being constructed in the 1960s. We haven't anticipated there to be a large increase in stormwater. That being said, this is a town project. I'm not sure if Donald may could speak to there being any potential in providing
Nothing down there. We can't, the access is, we just can't get anything out there.
if we were to do some sort of retention, I imagine that encountering groundwater is going to be a very big problem with any sort of retention and infiltration on this site as well, but that's where we could stand with the stormwater.
Anybody else? Nope. Questions, concerns? We have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve XIW number 648, 558 Enfield Street Wetlands application for site upgrades at the Great Brook Pump Station, Town of Enfield, applicant owner, map 33, lot 1, R33 zone.
Second.
Any discussion? No. Can I have roll call, please?
Sure. Is Sean voting?
Yes.
Okay. Donna Corbin Sabinski.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Carrie Ann Howe.
Yes.
Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Sean Davis. Dean, excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. 7 in favor, motion passes. Next on the, thank you very much for that. I know people are switching out, or Donald's staying. Next on our agenda is XIW number 649, Orlando Drive over Beemans Brook, wetland application for a culvert restoration project, Town of Enfield, applicant owner, R33 zone. Welcome again.
Good evening, everybody. Donald Nunes, Director of Public Works. And,
You didn't change.
and on the screen in front of you is Paul Brand from GM2, and he will happily take over. So,
Welcome.
hi, Paul.
Thank you for that great introduction.
I know, I can't help it, Paul. Thank you.
Just state your name and address for the record, okay?
Please, yes.
Absolutely. My name is Paul Brand. I'm with GM2 Associates, 115 Glastonbury Boulevard in Glastonbury, Connecticut. We are representing the town of Enfield as the designers of record for the replacement of bridge number 48012, which is Orlando Drive over the Beemans Brook. Excuse me. So just to give a little background about the project, this is part of the state local bridge program. There's no federal funds involved. The state local bridge program splits the costs of bridge reconstruction and rehabilitation projects with municipalities on a 50-50 basis. There's some pictures on the right of the screen. I will be showing you some additional pictures so that you can see larger scales of these. But the existing culvert that we are proposing to replace is an existing asphalt coated corrugated metal pipe arch. It's very irregular shaped. It's 5 feet wide by almost 7 feet high. It's been significantly damaged over the years by rock and fill that's been essentially squishing the pipe. There's major plate arch floor section loss along the bottom of the culvert, which is causing some of essentially the pipe to retract in on itself. And one of the major issues with this culvert is that the bottom is in such poor shape that the water is actually flowing underneath the culvert itself in regular condition. And it only really fills up inside the pipe during higher flow events. That's causing the bottom of the pipe to erode even more and undermining the pipe as well. And it's causing washout on the downstream side. The condition of the pipe is actually rated 2, which is very, very poor. It needs to be replaced. It's in very bad shape. There was a downstream culvert just about 75 feet downstream of this culvert that was washed out as part of a big storm in 2019. That culvert was never replaced. Instead, it's been the berm that supported that culvert is now gone, and there's a utility bridge that carries a sanitary pipe over the brook. So in terms of downstream hydraulic restraints, it's actually, those have been gone for a number of years, about 3 years now, 2.5 years now. So we're proposing to replace that deficient pipe with a new 12-foot wide by 4-foot clear rigid frame structure, a 3-sided structure with concrete foundations on either side. This will result in about 270 square feet of temporary wetland impact, about 1,000 square feet or so of impact to the stream itself that runs through the culvert. However, we are proposing a brand new natural stream bed. And just for reference, the entire project is within the upland review area for this. So to give you some context on where the project is, along the right of the screen is Route 5. Sorry, over here. Orlando Drive is essentially a town-owned road that culminates in a private road that services these apartments and condo associations at the end of the road. It actually ends right after the bridge. It ceases to be a public road and becomes a private driveway, which is why there's often confusion between Orlando Drive and Orlando Road. So it runs over Beemans Brook, which runs under Route 5, comes north, and then goes back around this entire subdivision and then back over towards Connecticut River. So just to give you some pictures of what the existing condition looks like, this is Orlando Drive itself. You really can't see the culvert from the roadway. There's fairly steep embankments on both sides. You can see the guide rail here that's protecting the steep embankment on that side. This is looking towards Route 5, and this is looking towards the apartment complexes. On the bottom, this is the upstream condition, and then the downstream condition as well. This is the upstream end of the culvert. You can see from the pictures that the shape of the culvert itself has become very misshapen over the years. Rock backfill. There's a steep slope of rock over here, and it's slowly been migrating into the pipe and pushing the sidewall of the pipe, which has failed. There is no head wall on the upstream side, so you can see in heavy flow events, there's voids on the sides of this pipe, and the water gets right through on the sides of the pipe, which will eventually lead to significant washout. So it's critical that this pipe be replaced as soon as possible. These are some pictures of the inside of the culvert itself. You can see a lot of rust on the bottom. It's hard to see here because of the sediment, but there is section loss, meaning that there's entire pieces of the pipe that are missing. This is the downstream side of the pipe. There is a head wall on that side that's built into the rock over here. There is a significant drop of about 1.5 feet from the invert down to the stream itself. This created an issue when it was reviewed by CT Deep's Fisheries Department. Originally, this project was designed to be replaced with a brand new 84-inch RCP. However, in coordination with Deep Fisheries, they requested that this pipe or this culvert become more fish friendly for fish passage. And so the culvert was redesigned as a 3-sided structure with a natural stream bed bottom. This is the downstream from a little farther away. You can see that drop pretty well. This is the old culvert that has since washed away. This berm is no longer there, and the stream flows free underneath a utility bridge that's now there. This is the plan view of the existing conditions there. You can see the flow of the stream goes south to north. You can see there's a significant bend as the stream reaches the culvert, and that causes some of the problems at the upstream invert. So opening that up as part of the project will significantly improve it. So this is our proposed plan. The blue represents the edges of water, the ordinary high water for Beeman's Brook. On the only wetland that we actually have that was flagged in this area because of the steep slopes, the only wetland that we have is a small state wetland on the upstream side on the northeast corner of the abutment or the pipe. And it's really kind of an existing flat area with some minor slopes to it. But it's actually a state wetland, not a federal wetland. As part of this project, that wetland will be temporarily impacted for regrading and construction of the pipe itself or the culvert itself. However, following construction, this area would be rehabbed and put back the way it was originally, so it'll be reseeded with wetland seedings and allowed to go back to its natural wetland state. This is the footprint of the culvert. You can see it's significantly wider than the 5-foot existing culvert. This is going to allow water to get over through the passage a lot easier. We're also, because we're now changing out a metal bottom for a natural stream bed bottom, the issues with the drop at the downstream end will go away. We'll have a nice clean flow through here. And then we'll be grading back. There's a little bit of fill on top of the end of that existing culvert where it flared out, and then just pushing out the wing wall a little bit, about 4 feet or so on the downstream end. But those aren't really fills in the stream because this actually spans over the stream on both ends. This is our water handling plan. This is just one alternative that the contractor is available for permitting purposes. We show this so that we can show that the replacement of the culvert is feasible from a construction standpoint. So what we're showing here is a bypass pipe, a 48-inch bypass pipe that would be cut through from one end to the other while the existing culvert is being removed and replaced with the new three-sided structure. This would be temporary cofferdams, most likely sandbag type, to hold the water and guide it towards the pipe. At the end of construction, this will be removed completely, backfilled completely, and this whole area would be put back to its original condition. And then the cofferdams will be removed and the stream will be allowed to flow back to its original condition. The site itself is outside of any National Diversity Database areas, so we do not have any species listed in our project area. There are some downstream, but they're far enough away that it does not it's not considered an impact. And from a permitting standpoint that we've already gone through, on this project there is no FMC required, flood management certificate. DEEP has done a regulatory hydraulic review as part of the process. We did do our fisheries coordination. Fisheries signed off on this design back in 2020. This project is proposed to the Army Corps of Engineers under the Connecticut General Permit under Category 19 authorization, and ICM, which is the Interagency Coordination Meeting, approved this project as a self-verification under the Section 401 authorization, meaning that when it goes to construction, it's a simple process of filing a notice to the Army Corps that the construction is imminent. So they've otherwise approved it. So as we said before, there's minor impacts, minor permanent and temporary wetland impacts. And we will be going for permit for flood. I apologize. This says there's permanent impact. There's actually only temporary impacts here. And we'll also be going to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a flood hazard area and a special permit for flood hazard area. The design includes soil erosion and sedimentation control throughout construction. As you could probably see from the plans, the entire project area will be surrounded by sedimentation control systems, and discharges from the construction site will be closely monitored with temporary sediment basins as well. With that, I will turn it over to you guys for any questions.
Any questions about it? Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Motion. I will make a motion that we approve XIW number 649 Orlando Drive over Beeman's Brook wetland application for culvert restoration project, Town of Enfield, applicant owner, R33 zone.
Second.
Any discussion? Can I have roll call, please?
Donna Corbin Zabinski.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Carrie Ann Howe.
Yes.
Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Sean Dean.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many of those do we have in town?
What was that?
All the culvert type things.
Oh, we have
You know?
hundreds. We have
Yeah.
hundreds of
Hundreds,
culverts. Yeah, this one is in particular disrepair.
Yeah.
We finally got through a lot of right-of-way things we had to square away through, right? So everything is ready to go, and now but this is in serious condition.
Yeah,
What
oh,
Paul
yeah.
didn't mention, though, too, is that we, as DPW, have been out there countless times, like trying to patch things. We're just trying to mend them to get through. So,
Hold it up.
so all the stuff going along the sides of the pipe, we try stopping that. Again, we've poured concrete. We've done the quick little repairs, and it's time.
Yeah.
And what Paul was mentioning is on the bottom of the pipe, there's almost no steel left on the bottom of the
Right.
pipe. So what's happening is
all
the
falling
pipe would
in.
be round, so now it's kind of creeping in a little bit. So when that falls in, other
Yeah.
stuff, other soil's falling in behind it. It's causing a little more runoff. It's just
Making
snowballing.
a mess, yeah.
It's just snowballing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's time, and everything's in line. So
Yeah,
we're
that's good. That's
All right,
good.
thank you so
I
much.
was wondering, I know there must be a few in town.
Quite a few in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for your time. Next on the agenda is enforcement reports. Seeing none? Nope. Report of planning staff. Appointment of new wetland agent.
So you guys can officially appoint me as your wetlands agent. You still currently have Lori and Rick, but I have my certificate, so you can also appoint me too. Thank you.
Finally got
Congratulations.
your certificates and things.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that all worked out. I was waiting forever for the state to finally publish their training because, as they decided to update all the trainings for the aquifer, wetlands, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And in the meantime, they were like, review our training videos, but don't get a cert, just see the videos. So I've been in constant contact with Darcy, and she finally emailed me, and she was like, guess what, it's done. And I was like,
Finally have it.
yeah, so now I can finally officially sign off on permits and site plans and stuff like that.
Yeah. So for the new people, this entitles you to sign the paperwork.
Yep,
and-
I can do more broader approaches. I can help Rick out with zoning enforcements for wetlands if he needs me to. I can sign off on permits for you guys, and I can do final plan reviews.
Good.
Oftentimes, we'll do what's called an agent approval.
Oh, and I can do that now too.
Okay.
All right.
So you need a motion?
Yeah, I will make a motion that we appoint Georgie as our new wetlands agent.
Second.
Any discussion? Yep. Do we have roll call?
Donna Corbin-Zabinski.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Carrie Ann Howe.
Yes.
Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Sean Dean.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. Congratulations. Finally have your certificate.
You're not going to leave us now, are you?
No, I still got.
We'll hunt you down.
We should have put a stipulation.
I'm staying.
Can't leave.
I promise I'll stay.
Did you have anything else?
I do have an update. I know one of our POCD goals was to develop some kind of educational pamphlet. It's currently in the works.
Yay.
Haven't gotten that far, just the first paragraph. Hope to have it completed very soon.
Good, thank you. And next is new applications to be received, we see none. Our next meeting is the 1st.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.